Are you needing to adjust the clutch on your small Honda Mini Trail? Stay tuned to find out how. Now you may have a Honda 50, a 70, 90, 110. Back in those days, Honda made them where they had automatic clutches, which doesn't mean that it just shifts automatically like an automatic transmission. You have to shift it with the shifter like you would a regular motorcycle with a hand clutch on the left. But what this does is whenever you move the gear shift lever, it actually actuates the clutch in the engine. And they get out of adjustment sometimes. And I found, and I've actually been asked a few times, how you actually adjust the clutches on that. So in this video, I'm going to go over the steps on how to adjust the clutch. So let's dive into the video and see how. All that's needed to adjust the clutch is a 14mm wrench and a flat blade screwdriver. So we'll break the nut loose. I'm not too worried about holding the center screw steady. I had to do a voiceover because the engine was so loud you couldn't hear me talking, so you may hear me in the background just a little bit trying to talk. But what we're going to do is I'm going to just turn the screw outward slowly. And a little oil will leak out while it's running, so don't worry about that. It's nothing really major. But you're going to keep turning it out slowly until you start feeling the bike trying to start grabbing. Now I found my spot where the clutch is actually dragging and trying to pull, so I'm now just going to turn it about 1/8 of an inch clockwise, and that should set the clutch where it needs to be. I tried to show this with the engine running, but one, the engine was running, it's hard to hear, and two, I couldn't really show you what I was feeling. You break that loose. Normally there's a 14mm wrench to go on it, and that's just a flat blade screwdriver. And what I did is I backed it out with it in gear. When it's running, you want your idle as low as you can get it and still run. Put it in gear. You need to be on the bike holding your brake on, or have somebody else sitting on the bike. But you keep backing it out until the bike tries to pull. And you go slow until you start feeling the bike pull. Once you start trying to feel it pull, then you turn it in 1/8 of an inch, which, you know, this way, if you're based on this direction here, a complete X would be a 90, so you want a 45. So you turn it roughly about like that, and then that sets the clutch. And what you're looking for is when you shift, it doesn't bang or jerk. And that's when you're shifting up. Now when you want to shift down, if you're shifting down and it just hard goes into the gear like you're not using a clutch, then it's not adjusted properly. And if you want to know which way is which, the more you screw it in, the more the clutch doesn't actually work. So the more you screw into it, the more you lose the clutch. The more you screw out, you can get it to slip. So if you notice when you're shifting gears, especially shifting up, and it seems like it does the slides into it, slipping too much. Sometimes it's hard to feel, especially when the clutch discs are worn, and this bike needs new disc in it. But the best way to tell is just to play with it. The instructions I just gave you is to get it to base start, and it actually worked. I did it until it started pulling, and I backed it off at 1/8, and that was right. But I went ahead and experimented and rode it around and tried screwing in a little bit till it slipped on shifts, which was this way. And when I screwed it out, it made it slip. Screwed it in, and made it shift hard. So right there is about as good as I'm going to get it. But that's pretty much how you adjust a clutch on a small Honda 50s, 70s, 90s. Now I showed you how to do the adjustment with it running and the clutch dragging and stuff. And you can't, the books say turn it counterclockwise till the clutch drags. Well, obviously it has to be running because you wouldn't be able to feel the clutch drag, but there is another way of doing this as well. And that's, you want to screw it in just a little bit, and that kind of just releases, or where it was potentially holding and just start counterclockwising it till you feel resistance. Now this is actually already there, so that just tells me the adjustment was pretty much already on the money from where I had done adjust it when it was running. But in this case, let's say adjustments in. So how you would do it is just turn it slowly and turn it with the you're going to be feeling a consistent freedom. And when you start feeling a slightest resistance, like I'm feeling it, just make sure. Because if you're not sure, you can try it several times. Yeah, there it is, slight resistance. Then the book says an eighth of a turn, 16th of an eighth of a turn, but I found that just turn it just a little bit back. Then lock it down. And the clutch is adjusted. So you can see that either way, doing it while it's running, if you're paying attention, you can start feeling that clutch drag. Or if it's not running and you want to do it real quiet and just pay attention, either one sets it about the right spot. So I hope this video helped. If you're confused or you have any more questions, be sure to leave me comments. I have a website, it'll be down in the description. And contact me, send me pictures if you need to. I help us for free. I don't charge for advice. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe, and always check back because I'm always working on a variety of different things, anything from motorcycles, cars, trucks, you name it. It just comes my way, and I want to share because I know a lot of people have questions about these things. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.